Golden Layton, what a deal. I can't wait to sell my Golden Layton. I like that Layton doesn't have any text for his own. Because he's dead. That's funny. Please insert disc 3, but I don't have disc 3. The only multi-disc PlayStation game I have is the Star Wars game. I did miss puzzles. Herschel's stage 4 brain cancer. Funny guy he asked. The Golden Court. It doesn't make any sense. How has it come to this? The darn witch. Why did it have to happen to Professor of all people? You have Final Fantasy 9? I think that's 4 discs. What the fuck? No Final Fantasy 7? I got my PlayStation 1 in like 2005. I had Crash Bandicoot, Wheel of Fortune, a Star Wars game, the Disney dinosaur game, a Beyblade game. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot 2 and 3. So I never had any of the multi-disc games except that Star Wars game, which is bad. God, believe me, Nick. I may be spirit medium, but I'm no witch. Don't worry, I know it wasn't you. See, have you seen Luke today? I haven't seen him since last night. He was crying all night. He didn't know what to. I didn't know what to say to him. No kidding. He's the one suffering the most from all this. Poor kid. He probably needs some time alone with his grief. We should leave him be. Yeah, he shouldn't have to see this trial. It'd be too hard for him. Hi, Spella. Oh, it's Spella. What are you doing here, Spella? Have you been cleared of accusations? No, not yet. If only if that was easy. Just that I'm not technically under arrest, so I got special permission to come here. I'm free to go wherever I like, within this building. I see. I heard about Mr. Layton. It's awful. He was such a good man. Sorry, Spella. Huh? What are you apologizing for? We were supposed to find clues connected to the Pizzella, but we couldn't find anything, and now the professor's been... No, don't say that. It's not your fault. I don't believe a word of what they say about Maya. She isn't a witch. Thank you, Spella. Mr. Wright, do you mind if I assist you in court today? Huh? I know it might not be of much use, but I'll do what I can. I want to help you and Maya. Spella? Who said that? Oh, it's Grey Earl. Your Grey Earl, butler of the Master Building. I have come to inquire after Miss Maya. It is most regrettable what happened yesterday. Oh, thank you for coming all the way here. You look really pale, Jean. Are you alright? Hey, Bites. Bites. Are you still here? Bites. Look at Grey Earl's pendant. It's green now. Why is it green? Don't know. Say Bites 50 more times extra fast? No. Oh, please don't worry about me. It's merely that this insistent sleep has eluded me. It's a mood brooch. It is in fact green. It is a fact. I spent the night searching through master notes on alchemy. I hope there may be some mention of a method by which something returned to gold may revert it back to its original form. Do you really want to do that when the statue's missing an arm? You're looking for a way to rescue the professor? I agree, she said. I missed a line. Hold on. Oh no. Human fate, something cruel. Team. Defender, accused. The trial's about to start. Proceed to the chamber. Yes, we're coming. Nick. Cheer up, Maya. We're not just gonna let you sentence you. Definitely not because I like my name or anything. Okay, maybe. Just wish all those stop already. Whether someone's a witch or not. No one deserves to be burnt. I know. I can't stand for it either. If you kindly excuse me now, I must return to my duties. No problem. We appreciate you coming to see us. Ma, your pendant changed to green. Whatever happened to your purple one? Something's bothering me. Jean seems somewhat odd today. Let's go, Mr. Wright. The trial's about to begin. God, now I have to remember voices of characters.
The trial of Maya Fey shall now begin, as scheduled.
Well, you can tell it's a Phoenix Wright game because Maya Fey's under murder trial again.
Knights of the court, are you ready to cross your swords of justice?
Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum always has his sword ready for the work of justice.
He's hard all the time.
Defense ready, Your Honor. At this stage, I've just got to give it all I've got.
It would appear the defender has thrown down the gauntlet, Sir Barnum. Now, before we begin, may I have a word with you, defender?
Yes, Your Honor.
Last time we met, you stood in this court as an apprentice. In all honesty, when I saw you for the first time, I thought to myself, a baker should stick to bread baking.
Is that so? What a fine first impression I made.
I think he also said that. He'd give Sir Barnum all he got.
However, today you are not merely some befuddled maker of sweet buns. I'm obliged to fully recognize you.
Does Phoenix have sweet buns? Don't answer that.
As a knight of law and justice, on par with Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum. Now may your duel begin. Fight bravely and expose the truth behind this heinous crime.
Charlie.
All right, we're all counting on you, Inquisitor Barnum.
I knew she was a witch as soon as I laid my eyes on her. She's got witch written all over her. Why not put the baker on trial? Bake the baker, I say! Barnum! 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 Barnum!
They treat him like some sort of celebrity.
He may be adored by the crowds, but when he pointed his sword my way, you managed to shield me from his accusations. Maya clearly isn't a witch, so surely your victory is certain.
Thank you for believing in me, Espella.
Espella Cantabella. I have given you leave to come to this trial today. However, that does not mean that the charges against you have been dropped. Rather than worry about others, you should consider your own situation.
Thank you for granting me your permission, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin your opening statement. As you wish, my lord. As usual, let us commence this trial by first recounting events, if it pleases you, Sir Blue Knight. As you wish, Inquisitor. I still can't use this terminology. This heinous crime occurred in the residence of the late Newton Belduc, the alchemist. Here is the sketch plan of his residence. This room, of a somewhat questionable nature, is the alchemist's study in which the incident took place. The only ones present at the moment of the crime were the accused and the victim, no one else. The witnesses who arrived at the scene seconds later have indicated where they were found the accused and the victim. Very well, the sketch is accepted as evidence. I've changed my voice already within this video. The accused took Sir Layton's life with the most cruel of magic. A living man 1 second, a golden statue the next. Such wickedness. Magic that turns things to gold? Sure, why not? Several townspeople rushed to the room and paid witness to the horror of this magic. The accused has been captured and charged. Goodness, that is terrifying. Rumors have reached me that the victim was a most scintillating man. I'm not quite certain whether it was prior to or after. But incidentally, was this Sir Layton not the same hat maker who attended our previous trial? No, he wasn't a hat. Bizarre as it is. Sir Layton's profession and origin remain unknown. He was a stranger in this city. That is all we know. And you, sir, his acquaintance, you are an unusual presence in your city, or our city yourself. Today's case certainly is peculiar. But it's not the last of the peculiarities, my lord. The alchemist's study has been the scene of another strange incident in the past. Ah, yes, I remember as if it were yesterday, the mysterious death of Newton Belduke himself. Oh yeah, I should add in a trigger warning. I don't know how to write that. Indeed, my lord. Regrettably, the only case of witchcraft still to remain unsolved in our fair city. The witch may have escaped her punishment back then. But perhaps today is the day on which both these mysterious crimes shall be solved. What? What are you implying? Patience. You will know soon enough, Sir Suddenly Pale Blue Knight. How interesting. It seems that the Inquisition has something up their sleeve. Now, Inquisitor Barnum, you may begin. A trigger for what? This case gets into the dark topics. I am remembering. Thank you, my lord. The Inquisition summons witnesses to this malicious crime of witchcraft. If only I made it to the room sooner. Maybe I could have prevented all this from happening. I won't let Maya take the rap for this. I'll find every single crack in their testimony and prove it wasn't her. Welcome to Witch's Court, honorable witnesses. Now let us hear your names and occupations. Fuck. Fuck. Ow. Why is he here? Why is he here? Charlie, why? Why is he here? I'm known far as wide as Amir Punchenbog the First, soon to be the new head of Punchenbog's retail organization, PRO. Chester privilege.
Hang on!
Wait a minute, witness. What's that, Blue Squire? You're that guy from the previous trial. Just what the heck's happened to you? You look like you've been on one of those ultimate makeover shows. Yeah, silly hat. He's not wearing a hat. That's his hair. With baubles attached to the tips. Whatever do you mean? My name is Amir Punchenbog First, soon to be head of Punchenbog Retail Organization, PRO. What does it mean, this Inquisitor? I do not care to delve into this witness's personal affairs. Looks like he remembers him all too well. Witnesses, pray continue. Oh dearie me, it is I who usually asks questions. I am, you see, but a humble teacher. Call me Miss Primstone. The children of Labyrinthia Primary School have the privilege of learning the truths about this world from me. Elementary school teacher, huh? Good to know at least one witness seems sensible. Bad news, she's not. The winds carry my song, it's birdly stringing along. Parrot and bard, ensemble avant-garde. The last guy was Amir. Emir is clearly a different, more refined kind of guy. My faithful muse here is Cracker, the musical parrot. No one understands music like Cracker, aside from me, naturally. Oh good, the parrot talks. At least it's not another goat. What a smart bird, he just imitated that teacher perfectly. And Luke. I'm Luke Triton. My occupation is a professor's apprentice. Luke? Luke, but why? What are you doing there? I made up my mind. I'm doing this for the professor. Chapman has to pursue the truth. But Luke, that's where the Inquisition's witnesses stand. I'll never forgive that witch. A gentleman shouldn't glare at people as if he wants to hit them in the face. Luke. Your friend today can be your enemy tomorrow. Such is the hard reality of the battlefield. Witnesses, we will now hear your testimonies. Tell us all this wicked incident which you have been unfortunate enough to witness. I don't think that's supposed to show up on the bottom screen. I heard a scream and an incantation, and then when I entered the room, the victim was already all shiny. I'm gonna change my voice many times because I don't remember what Amir's voice was. Perhaps something caused discord between erstwhile friends. Sir Silket had a knife at the ready in his hand. Victim of magic, sparkly and done for, I heard the staff fall on the floor. The professor must have seen through Miss Maya's deception and confronted her right there, face to face. Luke. I see. Thank you all. However, one part of the testimony was confusing. You there, the singer. Singer? Could you possibly mean me, Birdly the Bard, Your Excellence? Yes, that would be you, singer. The staff you said sung about. Is as you suspect, my lord. This very witch's scepter. There are two different magic gems attached, meaning the perpetrator could have used two types of magic. Luke like, source, I made it the fuck up. Yeah, Luke's kinda fucking up here. Yeah, it would seem so. This gem here enables the use of a gold transmutation spell, Goldor. Goldor. Just the word alone makes the tiny hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Har, that's the one, alright. That's the dreadful incantation that I, a mere Punchenbog first, also heard. Oh dear me, I've seen that scepter, so I have. Clink. Tips over the golden man. The scepter falls, not the witch's plan. Also, that parrot looks sad. Oh dear me. Oh god. How dare she do that to the professor? By the way, this witch's scepter was found on the floor, near the victim. If you turn attention to sketch plans, it was located right here. A scepter dropped by the accused would naturally tumble to exactly that spot.
Objection!
Inquisitor Barnum, what you're saying amounts to nothing more than baseless assumption. You are on edge today, Sir Blue Knight. Is it perhaps your friend is on trial? Perhaps you had better cool yourself down. Well, anyway, the court accepts the scepter as evidence. Thank you, my lord. Inquisitor Barnum, may I ask you something? What is it now, Sir Blue Knight? We know that one of the gems is for the spell Goldor, but what about the other one? A naive question. Huh? Naivety may be no hindrance to a baker, spends most of his time amidst bread, but it could be your undoing here in court. Would a knight put a weapon in his enemy's hand? He's telling me to do my homework. Huh. Mr. Wright, I'll look for information about that magic gem in the Grand Grimoire. Thank you, Spell. That'd be great. Just leave it to me. He seems very happy to help. The defender may interrogate the witnesses. Fuck. Let's see. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Press.
Hold it!
And what is all this about exactly? What do you mean, Blue Squire? Your gaudy, colorful outfit. I mean, your attire was different last time, a little more modest. The mirror you knew back then is no more. I am a new man now, reborn in the higher echelons of society. What's he drinking? There's a skull and crossbones mark on that bottle. Enough idle chatter. The witness heard a scream at incantations, is that correct? That's right! It's just like what you said earlier, Inquisitor Barnum. It was the spell Goldor, and was without doubt the voice of the accused that said it. However, it's rather peculiar. When I saw the accused and victim together last time, they seemed to be on friendly terms. Apita now. Be good night. Bye-bye, Bites. Bye-bye. I'll send you a message to who it is. The next witness will dispel your doubts, my lord. Unless you get to see the video next week or the week, or I don't finish. Maybe something caused discord? Oh, shut up. Are you saying you think they quarreled? The other day I saw you all together in this very court and you were evidently friends. Well, yeah, that's true, but that's what that's got to do with... Now everyone, listen carefully. No chatting in the back row. What I say now will be the next exam. Mrs. Primstone's lesson number 5. Friendship leads to nothing but trouble. People would not break up and part their ways in anger if they did not become friends in the first place. The kids in class must grow up to be model citizens. Oh dearie, dearie me, what I saw in that room curdled the blood in my veins. Mr. Silcat was pointing a glittering knife ever so threateningly. Hold on, we'll talk to Luke later. The professor threatened Maya with a knife? That sounds hard to believe. Perhaps he discovered that she was a witch, or she tried to attack him first. Mrs. Primstone's lesson number 7. Secrets lead to nothing but trouble. From the smallest of secrets can sprout the largest of arguments. This one's gonna be an exam. Everything's the beginning of trouble to her. Mr. Wright. What is it? I think there's some important information in Mrs. Primstone's testimony. It's like, you forgot to click the button, dumbass. Really? Oh, I'm sorry. It's not my place to say things like that. I didn't notice anything. What could that be? What's the spell about to say? Spell? Why don't you tell us all about what you noticed? Oh, is that okay? It's just something I'd like to ask Miss Primstone about. I'll just go ahead and ask her. Excuse me, Miss Primstone. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Oh, it's you, Mrs. Spell Cantabella. Miss Primstone, did you actually see the knife that Mr. Layton was holding? I did. As a matter of fact, yes. I remember that glittering blade very well. A most frightening sight was too. And you saw that from the door, didn't you? Now if we look at the sketch. When this took place, Mr. Layton must have been facing this way, correct? That must have been the case, otherwise the witness would not have been able to see it. Well, That's all I want to ask. The more information we have, the better, right? The direction the professor was facing. That could be important. Boop, 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 boop. This information shall be added to the court record. So sorry I jumped in like that, but I really wanted the help. Not all, Spella. We were able to get some more info, which may just come in handy. You think so? Now then, the next witness shall continue the testimony. Yeah, shut up. Would you mind describing what you saw without singing about it? As you wish, my musically impaired friend. Simply put, when I entered the room, the victim was worth his weight in gold, for obvious reasons. He tipped over and fell heavily onto the floor. The room became drearily silent. And then I heard that scepter tumbling across the floor. Yeah, we're gonna just ignore that. Didn't you just said it like that the first time around? Clearly the witch must have dropped the scepter then.
Objection!
That's merely your assumption. Now, Mr. Burley, did you actually see Maya drop a scepter, or did you just hear something tumbling on the floor? I must confess, my eyes were rather more drawn towards a brilliantly glistening golden statue. Please don't use the word glistening. I did not witness the witch dropping the scepter, no, but I did hear it, and my sense of hearing is peerless.
I see. Now we would like to hear the next witness's testimony.
This next witness is a bit problematic. The professor... Shut up!
Hold it!
Traitor. Luke, open your eyes! Maya isn't a witch! Ever since we came to this town, lots of unbelievable things have happened. And that's why, from now on, I'll only believe what I see with my own eyes. Luke. When I went into that room, the only people I saw were the professor and Maya. The professor had been turned to gold, and Maya dropped that scepter. It's not true. What? Maya didn't have any scepter, and we weren't the only ones in that.
Silence! The accused has no right to speak. Be silent, or you will face punishment. We can end this trial immediately, should you decide you feel talkative again.
I'm sorry. Well, Luke, is that really the truth? Huh? Huh? Did you really see the scepter? I don't know. When the professor turned to gold in class right in front of me, everything seemed to fade to black. And then I could have sworn I at least heard Maya drop the scepter.
The scepter was found at the scene of the crime. That is the unavoidable truth. Only the accused could have dropped it.
Okay. I'm looking good. I feel so sorry for Luke. He's so full of anger and despair that he can't think clearly. Wow, look at all those snakes in chat. Wow. He said he can't forgive the witch. I wonder how sad he feels.
Anyway, I need to find a way to calm Luke down first of all. Which was not you. You.
Hold it!
Yeah. She's going through her lessons. Everyone, please make a list of all of Miss Primstone's lessons. There's going to be exam. Yeah.
No way!
Yep, we can go over to Luke.
Hang on!
Is everything okay, Luke? No, of course it's not okay. The professor was a true gentleman. And no gentleman would go around threatening people with knives. I couldn't agree more. Silly boy, I saw your professor pointing a knife. Are you insinuating that I'm a liar, you cheeky little whippersnapper? At least Luke's found someone else to antagonize. Oh, please stop. Okay, let me check. So he's pointing away from Maya. Oh. Face to face? Well, that doesn't work.
Objection!
Luke, you said that you only believe what you see with your own eyes. But what you think you saw may not be the whole truth. Huh? What do you mean? Take a close look at the sketch of the crime scene. At the time of the incident, Professor Layton and Maya were standing here. Now, we have learned from Miss Primrosestone's testimony which way the professor was facing. He's facing this way. Oh. You have testified that the professor confronted Maya face to face. But looking at the sketch of where they were standing, one thing is clear. There's a contradiction in your testimony. What? Poor Luke.
Objection!
Whether they were facing each other or not is of no relevance whatsoever. They were the only ones in that room. One is a victim, thus the other must be a witch.
Objection!
I will ask you to wait before jumping to conclusions, Inquisitor. Think back to Miss Primstone's testimony. She told us that the professor was pointing a knife at someone, threateningly. However, you can see in the sketch that he wasn't threatening Maya. So then, who was he pointing the knife at?
Hold it!
Luke, what is it? The professor would never point a knife at anyone. I was the one who opened the door to that room, so I was the first witness, and I saw no knife. Miss Primstone's testimony is not reliable. Oh dearie me, will you look at his child, sputtering nonsense and talking badly of his elders? Inquisitor Barnum. Yes, my lord. It should pose no difficulty to verify whether or not the victim had a knife. After all, that sparkling golden body of his has been found at the scene of crime, has it not? Indeed it has, my lord. Court attendants, you heard the judge. Bring the victim into the courtroom. Seems like they're gonna bring the golden statue. Professor? They just wheel in the statue. Where's his arm? Look at that. Did it get damaged in transit? Professor! Professor! So this was the power of the gold transmutation spell. Most spectacular. It looks like the work of the finest artisans. I assure you it is the work of no artisans, my lord. By the way, the missing arm has not yet been found. I can't believe this, Professor! Here, I'm gonna give a crying voice to Luke for the rest of this trial. I suppose we should add the victim to the evidence. Poor professor, who while searching for evidence became evidence. That is unfortunate. I thought the evidence would be good as gold. Though technically is, we are still no closer to discerning whether or not the victim was holding a knife.
Hold it!
Let me speak, please. Maya. The professor didn't have a knife, and also, there was another person in that room. The real witch was there too. Please believe me. Accused, do I really need to warn you again? Inside the cage, you are to behave like a bird that has forgotten its song. Speak again, and you shall be punished. Or are you in a particular hurry to taste the flames of justice, little bird?
Objection!
But it's true that someone else could have been at the crime scene. Look at the sketch. The victim was facing towards someone, and that person wasn't Maya. Sir Blue Knight, your ignorance is no longer even a surprise. Huh? You do not know what transpired at the crime scene. You think this man was pointing at another person, you say? Let me tell you this. Nearly everyone in this court other than you knows what Sir Hat was pointing at. What? Well, honorable witnesses, is that not so? I am your punching bag at first. Love me some gossip and stories of the occult. Elusive like mist, the magical beast, the chilling breath brings about death. That doesn't rhyme. Oh dear me, you could use some education, Blue Knight. I can offer you private tuition, but will not come cheap. Professor wasn't crying really mild. I'm gonna cry all a lot. Witnesses, you will now testify. Tell us about this other presence of the crime scene. Boop, boop, doop, doop, boop. Why are you jamming? Is it because Amir's drunk again? We all know what happened to that alchemist, so this case is no mystery. Same place, same magic trick. This time, her luck ran out and she dropped that magic scepter. The truth obscured by twisted ruse, the witch couldn't confuse, but did confuse. It happened because the professor unraveled the mystery behind his wishes. The same magic trick was used? You gonna boop do boop do boop. They were referring to an incident from 3 months ago. Much like this incident, a man lost his life to witchcraft in that very room. It was the master of that incident, Sir Newton Belduke, the alchemist. God, he looks a lot like Miles. He suffered death by strangulation. Finger marks were left on his neck. I am Barnum, not the judge. He had locked himself in his study, and the key was still in his pocket. In other words, no one could have entered that room. The perpetrator disappeared from a locked room, just like in this case. A large amount of powdered medicine spilled over the floor. Powdered medicine? For Belduc was an alchemist. He possessed various medicinal concoctions. Due to the presence of that powder, had anyone entered that room, clear footprints would have remained, yet there were none. That's the kind of mystery the professor would love to solve. He dead. Thus, there were two unnatural circumstances to worship Belduc's death: the culprit's disappearance from a locked room, and the fact that they appeared not to have walked on the floor. It's almost as if they flew away. In other words, it couldn't have been the mirror magic that was used in my case the other day. Seems like the killer levitated above the floor, strangled Belduc, and vanished into thin air. What does that have to do with the trial? It's been 3 months since that murder. Despite that, we still haven't been able to find the witch responsible. But now, having eluded us for so long, that witch has finally been brought before this court. We will have justice. No, wait, now he thinks Maya could alchemist too? Were we even here 3 months ago? We weren't even here back then, but it's not like I can explain that to him. Well then, why don't you interrogate the witnesses, now that you are aware of the connection between the two murders?
Objection!
You can't be serious. 3 months ago we weren't even... Defender, you may interrogate the witnesses. May their testimonies lead us to the truth. God, why is Amir here? Why is he here? Yeah. Press.
Hold it!
You're talking about Mr. Belduke's murder, which took place in the locked room? Yeah, a real shocker, alright? Everyone's talking about it. People don't say this out loud, you know? You're thinking it too, eh? I've changed voice. Lean's arm's missing. He has a bunch of fancy stuff now. I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about. Clear as day, he was an alchemist. An alchemist. Alchemy's just like magic, ain't it? Sir Belduke was a man. Only a woman can be a witch. What's more, witchcraft has nothing to do with alchemy. They're different. Somehow. Alchemy is the mysterious art of manipulating the forces of nature, or so it is said. Well, that sounds a lot like magic to me. Alchemy is incomprehensible to regular people. It's all magic, really. And, you know, a couple of days before Witch Time, there was that lightning that struck. Lightning? I asking, because I liked telling that one. I was shining like a bolt from the blue sky. There was this bolt from the sky, only it wasn't blue. The sky lit up and turned blood red, and then out of nowhere, an old-looking bell tower appeared in a burst of flames. Snake stole Layton's arm? No, Charlie, no! Why would I do that? Makes you realize Mother Nature's pretty powerful stuff, eh? There he goes. You have strayed off the topic at hand, witness. This is a courthouse, not an inn. Save your thrilling stories for later. I'll draw it in a bit, Charlie.
Hold it!
Would you care to elaborate on that, Miss Brimstone? You could say I'm a scholar. My knowledge is vast and diverse. I know a thing or two about witchcraft. Therefore, I have a very good idea of the type of magic that must have been used this time. Dearie me. The magic behind this mysterious figure appeared out of nowhere, gilded through the air, and vanished after making the kill. Indeed, yes, so the witch's chapter confirms my theory. A brilliant deduction. I am honored to have studied under excellent teachers such as yourself, Miss Brimstone. He was his teacher? Actually, I guess that kind of explains a lot. Our occult crime analysts have arrived at the same conclusion. That's right. I found it, the page about the purple magic gem. The spell's called Familia. Familia? What does it do? The spell Familia, bound with this purple gem, is used to summon a familiar. Familiars power nowhere, glide through the air, and vanish when their task is accomplished. They are evil, bloodthirsty spirits used by witches to perform outrageous crimes. Evil spirits? Are you saying that the witch used familiar too? It was a familiar that took Sir Belduke's life and now has appeared again. Sir Silkhat was probably trying to ward off the evil spirit with his knife. But what good is a knife against an occult creature? It completed the task given to it by the witch and promptly vanished. Thus bringing us to the conclusion that Sir Belduke and Sir Silkhat were both killed by the same witch. What? No way. What an unexpected turn of events. The two incidents have been shown to be connected, due to the same witch's scepter having been used in both cases. Oh, this is terrible. Now Maya's accused of 2 murders. Oh, dear me, I was right, as always. This gruesome murder will be in the next exam. Be sure to take notes. Now should divulge what really happened. This will be an exam, Charlie. We are all ears, Miss Brimstone. That hat maker was pointing a knife at the witch's familiar.
Hold it!
Did you actually see the familiar? Oh, dearie, dearie me. No, I did not. When that boy opened the door, he learned all about mitochondria as the powerhouse of the cell. The familiar had just disappeared. Had the boy opened the door sooner, no doubt we'd all have seen it. If you were my student, I would have made sure to teach him not to dilly-dally. Yeah, we'll talk to Luke about that. Luke's pissed off.
Hang on!
Is everything all right, Luke? You seem to be deep thought about something. No, it's not right at all. Is there something in Miss Primstone's testimony that you'd like to comment on? That's what I keep telling you. The professor would have pointed a knife at anyone. Dearie, dearie me, you impertinent child. I'm telling you, I saw a knife. I distinctly saw the glint of a sharp blade.
Objection!
Anyway, as we can see now, the victim's arm is missing. As such, there's no proof that he had a knife.
Objection!
That is but a mere detail. It matters not. A mere detail? Matters not! Oh my, anyhow, I wonder, where could that missing arm be? Yeah, that ought to be looked into. Why is he even here?
Hang on!
Mister, do you have something you'd like to share with us? Mr. Amir. It's Mr. Amir Puncherbog for the first, you bluey. The likes of you ought to show some respect for a future man of wealth such as me. You seem to be looking ahead to a future full of newly gained riches. I can look wherever I bleed please. Anyway, why are you looking at me like that? I don't know about that golden bloke's right arm. Excuse me, Mr. Wright. What is it, Bella? May be wrong, but there's something about that man. What do you say he looks suspicious? It's not just you. Everything about him is so shady, it makes me want to double check my pockets. Mr. Amir, stop pretending you don't know anything about the victim's missing arm. Pretending? I told you I know nothing. Nada. Zero. Nil. I ain't seen it, or heard about it, or put it in my pocket. You put it in your pocket? It wasn't me, honest. Honestly, I got nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Who the fuck is that?
Mia! You lying, cheating...
Oh, it's the shopkeeper.
Deceive me!
Order! Order! Who is that person? You want to know who I am? I'm Price the pawnbroker. I already forgot my voice. And this man is a shameless, cheating bum. He had the nerve to lie to me. What did he lie to you about? I'll tell you. On the day of the crime, Amir came to my shop. He waltzed up to me saying he got his hands on a superb work of art, rare as gold dust. I think I know where this is going. A work of art. Could it be? I've got it right here. That's like I thought. That's Omar. Professor. The professor's arm. It's pure gold. Excellently crafted. Is the title Towards Tomorrow or something like that. I never seen a piece of gold so fine before. And so, suspecting nothing, I paid that rascal a rather handsome sum. Who would have thought? And what am I hearing now? That it was a human arm, no less. You, sir, are a monster. You're as bad as a witch's familiar yourself. I didn't know it was his arm, I swear. When I saw it, it was already like that. What do you mean? I was lashed to the scene and it caught me eye right away. The golden arm, pointing up at the ceiling with such optimism and authority. I thought it looks like it's showing me to way to a better, bright, richer tomorrow. To me, it was a work of art, a precious one at that. And then it found its way in your pocket and you pawned it. You mounted it on a crude stand, gave it a tawdry title, and passed it off as some kind of sculpture. Don't try and look away from the truth now. Darn it, I can look wherever I damn please. Or look away from the facts and forward to the future. Always look on the bright side. That's a mere punch and box motto. Can you tell that he's a Layton character? Also, that's a ridiculous way to do that. Where are we now? Oh yes, the victim's arm has been successfully reattached to by one of our masterful craftsmen. Knights of the court, you may resume your inquisition. At least one thing's clear now. As everyone can see, the victim definitely wasn't holding a knife. Oh dear me, it seems I may have been mistaken after all. If you think about it, the victim had already been turned to gold when we entered the room. According to witnesses' testimonies, that was the case, yes. And I'm sure you'll concede that was an easy mistake, that glittering pointing finger for a knife. Indeed, the victim's finger has a glint to it resembling that of a sword's edge. Such a sense of power and intensity is enough to send a shiver down the spine of anyone being pointed at. No puzzle's a match for the power of the professor's pointing finger. I guess no one remembers I'm known for pointing like that too. Layton becomes gold and screams in pain because his arms being tacked on by rivets. I think your pointing finger makes quite an impression too, Mr. Wright. He's just taking pity on me. That's all you had to say, Mr. Blue Knight. Huh? As I said before, whether the victim had a knife or not is completely irrelevant. Yeah, what he said. You better apologize to me now. Badgering me for no reason like that. That's all there is to it. Could that arm hold some other clues? When you come this far, maybe there's something else you could ask about. He's right, and he asks some more questions. Well then, Mr. Abir, perhaps you could tell me one more thing about the arm. How much did he pawn it for? Where was it lying? You found the arm on the floor, pointing upwards, you say. Yeah, I did. Finders keepers, I say. It was pointing straight up at the ceiling. The arm somehow happened to fall down in such a way that it landed upright. What are the odds of that? Actually, that reminds me of a puzzle. In the middle of a trial? Come on. Now, if you could just show us on this floor plan here, I'd like to know the exact spot where you found the victim's arm. Sure, I remember that well. It was right here. Yes. That's where you expected it to have fallen. That's not where I expected it to fall. Now that's where it was. But something's definitely not right. If you keep looking at that sketch so intensely, you shall burn a hole in it. Or perhaps you're going to claim there's contradiction in it somewhere. This arm is the final clue left by the professor. Even after turning to gold, he was pointing out something important. His face is a cylinder, namely the key to solving this case. Well, offender, do you see any problems with the locations marked on sketch? See, there is a problem. Of course there's a problem. What would that be, precisely? The professor's arm has armed me with some vital evidence. Phoenix? Its location leads to a huge contradiction. In that case, why don't you enlighten us and show us this so-called contradiction? What contradiction does the victim's arm create? The staff.
Got it.
The contradiction is right here. This is the witch's scepter. Let's go over the order of events. As per the witness's testimony. First, the witch casts a spell on the professor, turning him to gold. When all of you rushed to the crime scene, that golden statue fell down, making a loud noise. Next, the witch dropped the scepter. What are you getting at, Sir Blue Knight? All witnesses agree with this order of events. That's right. They all agree that's how it happened, but then there's the arm. Well, what about it? Spit it out. Let's assume that Maya was the witch. Now look at the sketch again. The witch dropped the scepter after having turned the professor into gold. The scepter tumbled along the floor and was found here, as asserted by the prosecution. However, that would be impossible. There's no way it could have been there. Oh, I see it now. The arm, it was... I'm glad these seem to have noticed. The victim's arm was on the floor right here, standing on its end. Therefore, the sculpture couldn't possibly have fallen that way. Ergo, it couldn't have been the defendant who dropped the scepter. In other words, Maya is not the witch. Order, order, order! How can this be? The Inquisition's reasoning has been proven invalid through just one single piece of unusual evidence. Call it Layton's magical touch. Don't call it that. The professor sacrificed his arm to leave us just the evidence needed to turn this thing around. That was amazing, Mr. Wright. Professor, I'm gonna start crying again.
Objection!
An admirable deduction, Sir Blue Knight, that I cannot deny. Even if we were to assume your reasoning is correct, and that girl in the cage is not a witch. Even if? In the many trials I've attended, I have become well versed in certain aspects of magic. I'm all too aware of the potential to confuse people, befuddle their minds, and make their memories hazy. No one can resist such a maddening influence. What are you trying to say, Inquisitor? The scepter could not have tumbled across the floor, the arm went its way. However, can we be sure that is where the arm was? Are all the witnesses able to confirm its location at the time?
Objection!
We've heard what we had to say several times now. They agreed that the scepter fell after the victim fell over.
Objection!
And yet, no one actually saw the scepter being dropped. Witnesses, think back to that incident once more. Did the golden statue fall over first, or did the staff fall before it? Think carefully about what you've seen and heard. Everything hinges on your testimonies. May your words guide us to the truth and decide the fate of this caged witch. Why did it go in that order? I was about to get ready to leave, but it seems there's a need for further questioning. Testify once more, witnesses. Tell us of the golden statue in the Talia Magica. Why is it showing me the clock tower? Bell tower. I was only focusing on the professor, so I don't remember much else. I don't know. I got there last. Besides, that thing was glittering and glittering away, so I couldn't see much else. Bewitched by the love, beloved by the witch. The poor cove knows not which is which. Dearie me. I remember how obvious it seems now the staff was dropped before the statue fell over. Oh, wait a minute. What y'all said just now? It's totally different from your previous testimonies. Sir Blue Knight, you are starting to notice it now, aren't you? That is the way of magic. Such is the effect this black art tends to have upon those who witness it. The witnesses are not lying, but simply having trouble remembering the truth. What a convenient excuse. Confronted with magic, their brains turn to mush, huh? Ever since our ancestors drank from the fountain of wisdom and obtained the capacity for a reason, witchcraft has been the one thing to remain incomprehensible even to the most intelligent of us. Nevertheless, the onus is on us to stand up against magic and pass judgment on these witches. And so, here we are, doing battle with the weapons of the wise. Words. With words, we shall pass judgment upon the supposed witch. Defender, you may begin your interrogation to help us arrive at the truth. I've only... Oh, yeah, chat.
Hold it!
Luke, you said before that you heard the scepter fall to the floor. And that was after the professor fell over. I thought so, I thought so before, but now... The more I think about it, the less certain I am that I actually heard it. How could I have been paying attention to anything else? Everything else are too fuzzy. I guess Luke was too shocked to take in his surroundings and notice anything else. I doubt I'll get any more information out of it for now. Sorry, Luke. I understand how hard this is for you. Let's move on to the next witness. God, why are you still here?
Hold it!
And that thing would be the arm of that shiny jet next to you, Bluey. Poor Professor Layton, more valued now than ever before. And you didn't notice the scepter on the floor? You know, I wasn't even looking at the floor. My eyes were kind of glued to me new source income. Wasn't that on the floor? If anything, I may have looked up at the ceiling since that's where it was pointing. Finders keepers, eh? In me pocket it went. There he goes, drinking more. Does he know what he's drinking? I don't think he does. Someone rest this guy, please.
Hold it!
Yeah, shut up. Would you mind translating your song into plain speech? I shall simplify it once more just for you, esteemed knight of the court. First of all, let's talk about love. It's a pretty neat slant rhyme for cove. Cove? Cove is slang for a chap, you see. We're gonna ignore him. Over the word witch, and it's homophone witch. Right. Next, we have the delightful concepts of beloved and bewitched, is ultimately a song about confusion. I'm confused. To be honest, there's nothing more to it. It's merely an artistic expression of my feelings. So, it's got nothing to do with this case, does it? I'm a well of melodious words and poetic music. That is my only claim.
No way!
I'm gonna assume that's Maya scream. Ah! Oh dearie, dearie me. Oh, what could my peerless parley cracker be thinking about now? I wonder, perhaps I should sing a song about it. Did I miss my chance? No.
Hang on!
Luke, would you like to say something? Oh, sorry, I guess I spaced out a bit. What is it, Mr. Wright? You seem to be thinking pretty hard about something during Mr. Bertley's song, testimony, whatever it is, just now. Is there something you'd like to share with us? Well, I've been thinking about Mr. Barnum said a while ago. What was that exactly? That humans who witness magic become confused and lose sight of what's real. They end up not knowing what actually happened. Well, I was thinking Mr. Barnum might be right. And then it occurred to me that there might be a way. I mean, we do have with us a witness who isn't human. Fuck. Ah, oh dearie, dearie me. The situation seems oddly familiar. Why? Why a parrot? Why? I asked him earlier if he remembers events clearly not. He said he has a memory better than an elephant and remembers everything perfectly well. Of course he do. That's right. I almost forgot. Luke can talk to animals. Mr. Wright, I know it sounds crazy, but please, let me try. Let me ask Cracker to testify. Oh dear me. Should I? I'm stuck now anyway, and the witnesses' testimonies are all over the place. A new testimony would be a wild card, but it might just be the thing that turns trials on its head. But it's a crazy idea, alright. I've done it before! If I make a mistake now, it'll put me in a tight spot. Defender, are you still with us? This is not the time nor place for daydreaming. What do you tend to do? Charlie, we're interrogating a bird. It looks as though you exhausted all means for a counterattack, Sir Knight in Blue. Is it not time you drop your sword? If you have no further questions for witnesses, Defender, I will consider your interrogation finished. This is in fact the second time Phoenix has cross-examined a bird. I think isn't it the third time now? I didn't mean to open that. What will it be then? Are we finished here? Got zero time thinking over it. Better make a choice now. Should I summon the pair as a witness? Yes. Your Honor, the defense would like to summon a new witness. A new? Witness, you say? Who do you have in mind? The witness you all know, by the name of Mr. Cracker. Mr. Cracker? I know of no man by that name. Mr. Cracker! The defense summons a new witness, Mr. Cracker the Parrot. A parrot as a witness? Okay, for the rest of Cracker's lines, I'm just gonna do a high pitch instead of like copying voices. This is witch's court. Joking around will be considered contempt of court.
Objection!
Mr. Cracker witnessed the crime. He saw it happen, and he heard it too. He's as valid as a witness as the others.
Objection!
No. That bird is nothing but a pet animal. Referring it to his mister will not change that.
Objection!
Humans are confused by magic to the extent they lose sight what's real. That's what you yourself said, Inquisitor Zacharias Barnum.
Objection!
Calling me by my full name does not help justify such brash foolishness. The Inquisition is against interrogating a parrot. By the way, kind sirs. Oh, who's that? I suppose you should know that my dear companion never forgets a sound he hears. He remembers everything he hears, huh? It's definitely worth asking Cracker to testify. The court sees the situation as follows. The witnesses' testimonies do not hold together. In fact, they are as erratic as that bard's songs. I cannot see this trial getting any more confusing. Very well. The defense may summon this avian witness. Can't you believe it? What's up with Mr. Bluesuit summoning a pair as a witness? Summoning? Does he mean like how the familiar was summoned? By hook or by crook, I'll do whatever I can to save Maya. But yet summoning a parrot or a familiar, whatever it takes within the boundaries of the law, of course. Why? Alright, witness, state your name.
Objection!
Not so fast, I hardly even know where to begin. First of all, what's the matter with that boy looking to please himself? He looks like the cat that got the cream. That'd be me, wouldn't it? Don't mind me. Just think of me as a perch for Cracker, that's all. And just what is the purpose of questioning a bird? A parrot may be able to repeat what others say, but it cannot talk on its own.
Objection!
It's precisely because Cracker doesn't talk in his own words that he's certain to tell us the truth. What? Cracker remembers every sound he hears, even just the once, with absolute perfection. So let's have him testify exactly what he heard. And if Cracker can repeat every sound, I say this should be a valuable testimony. I cannot believe this is happening. Why is my phone vibrating? It's my dentist. Fuck off. Cannot believe this is happening. Dentists in Magic Land, evil. The winners cannot talk. Will not lie either. This idea is much to my liking. Will then, may our new witness Cracker testify to the court. We wish to know exactly what you heard from the beginning of the incident. Oh good, they gave the parrot voice lines.
Objection!
Watch this now. Why, those are the sounds of the incident. Exactly as Cracker heard them. Ludicrous. Evidently, this is nothing but a farce after all. What do you mean, Christopher Barnum? I must admit, I found this parrot's testimony quite impressive. Even if that bird can accurately recall the sounds, it's clearly useless when it comes to the order of events. You mean there's a problem with the order? First, the witch used magic to turn the victim to gold. Then the witnesses arrived. It is reasonable to assume they cried out in terror when they did so. And yet, this testimony does not accurately convey such an order of events. It starts with a sudden scream, followed by the door abruptly opening, and then a witness crying out. Next, we hear the victim, having turned into gold, falling down. So far, so reasonable. But the real issue is as follows. The parrot seems to think the witch cast her spell after the witch has entered. Such a suggestion is inconceivable. The reason is simple. At that time, the victim has already been turned into gold. As indeed as you say, Mr. Barnum. The parrot's capacity for imitation is excellent. I will concede that its testimony does have some entertainment value. However, this animal's testimony cannot be allowed to stand as proof in this honorable court of law. Don't write Cracker off just like that. Do you now see how foolish you were to summon this parrot as a witness? Not good, Phoenix. Not good at all. Should I really go through the cross-examination when it feels like everyone in the court is against me? Cross-examine, bird. The defense wishes to cross-examine the witness. What? Are you serious? Do you not hear what I said? Are you choosing to ignore my words? A witness that cannot talk cannot lie either. This parrot's testimony is the naked truth. He's simply repeating the sounds as he heard them. It's humans who make assumptions about the meaning of those sounds and arbitrarily decide whether the testimony is good or not. But as Knights of the Court, shouldn't we be striving to uncover the truth to which this parrot holds the key? The truth, you say? Very well. Shows the truth that this bird perfectly knows. Interrogate the parrot. Meanwhile, I shall enjoy the show. Will you do it, Mr. Wright? Do you think it's hopeless? Defender, you may interrogate the witness. I'm allergic to birds. Nothing really shows to be like an issue except this one. Goldor or Godor? How do they do this in different languages?
Objection!
Rejectifying a bird. There's a critical contradiction in this testimony. We are all well aware that, swear Blue Knight. This contradiction is between your so-called desire to find the truth and the fact that you are interrogating a parrot. That's not what I'm talking about, Inquisitor. There is a contradiction here that makes it one thing particularly clear. The fact that we clearly all made a wrong assumption. How so? Luke, can you please ask Cracker to repeat the incantation once more? Right you are. Go door. Go door. Go door? According to Grand Grimoire, the name of the gold transmutation spell is Goldor. Now, Inquisitor, it seems to me that the spell we've just heard is in fact a different one entirely. Well, I never. Unbelievable. Goldor and Godor.
Objection!
This is ridiculous. That wretched bird must have misheard the incantation.
Objection!
Cracker is able to imitate sounds perfectly. Perfectly. Incantation was indeed misheard, but only by the people hearing it.
Objection!
The victim was found already in his golden state. That's proof enough that the Goldor spell was used.
Objection!
We're forgetting that Cracker heard this incantation after that spell had already taken place. Which makes it entirely possible that this Godor spell was used as well. In other words, another spell besides the gold transmutation magic must also have been used. Another spell that we haven't yet considered. Now the next question that needs to be asked is, just what is this Godor spell?
Objection!
Utter foolishness, this is absurd. As convenient as it would be for you, there is no way that a spell by the name of Godor exists. Oh, Mr. Wright. Huh? What is it? I found it. The page about the spell, Godor. It's listed in the Grand Grimoire, right here. It exists? What? Charlie, this case was just blown wide open by a parrot. Order! Order! I demand order! Just like I thought. Cracker remembered exactly. Then what kind of magic is this Godor? Oh, my lord, the Grand Grimoire describes it in the following way. Say what? Godor creates a portal on two sides of green-colored walls. The portal will disappear after 5 minutes. Creates a portal on green-colored walls? A portal spell. Aren't you lucky, man? It appears even the Grand Grimoire is on your side. However, there's a fatal flaw in your explanation. Huh? What flaw is that, Inquisitor? It's really quite simple. Think back to how the alchemist's study looked at the time of the incident. Do you remember any green walls? Because I do not. There were none. All the walls were coated with white plaster. Nuh-uh. In other words, it was impossible to use Godor in that room. Huh. I too have visited alchemist study since the incident. I remember very well that all the walls in that room were a dull shade of white. What's the question, Jogden? What is your question? Your little theory was interesting, Sir Knight Blue, but it's proven to be nothing more than that, a mere wild guess. As long as you cannot prove that this Godor spell was used, your little theory shall not be considered no further. In all honesty, I was very surprised to learn of such a spell's existence. However, as long as it's impossible to have used the spell at the crime scene, your deduction leads us to nowhere. And a mere wild guess? No, Amir has almost no point to the rest of this case, I believe. We'll ask him right now. Yes, Your Honor? Do you perchance have any proof that you could show us? Can you prove that it was feasible for the witch to have used Godor in that room? Sorry, I just sat down and I'm confused by this game. Yeah. I know the solution, though. This is no coincidence. The spell must have been used at that crime scene. But do I have the proof that it was even possible to use Go Door? I do have proof. It's been on my mind for a while. That inexplicable mark. It has to be evidence that ties up all the loose ends. The defense wishes to present evidence. Impossible. Determination in your eyes made me think you would. I forgot who I was talking as. Now then, we shall allow the defense to present evidence to the court. Present the proof that spell Godor was used to see the crime. The painting. It's been painted green. The walls in the study are coated with white plaster. Not all of them, though. There's just one spot which is green. Oh, there is? I noticed it when investigating the crime scene. You may recall that there was a similar painting behind the desk, a small painting behind the desk. And for some reason, the wall behind it was painted green. It was what? I recall seeing that painted myself too. If we look at this floor plan, I say it was around here. Mr. Wright, I'll mark it on the floor plan. It's been bothering me since I saw it. But now it's clear what it was. At the time of the incident, a portal opened up behind that painting. In other words, that was the wall utilized for the spell Godor.
Objection!
You're certainly persistent. You just want a portal to be there so much, don't you? The wall behind the painting was green, and that's a fact. Incidentally, I remember that painting well. It was a small landscape piece. About the size of, say, an open Grand Grimoire. Yes, it was just about that size indeed. A small, adorable picture. Even if a portal had opened in that small patch of green, no person would be able to pass through it. In fact, they'd just about to be able to put their arm through at the most. So will you please explain how a witch could possibly have escaped through a portal this small? He's right, Mr. Wright. No one would have gone through a portal that small. Have you anything to say, or are you so crushed by the realization of your mistake that words fail you? The portal is too small for a person. Doesn't require much thinking to figure that out. With that aside, a very obvious question remains. If it wasn't a human, then what could have passed through that portal? You've put an interesting spin on things. Why don't you answer your own question? You talk as if you know everything, so please, enlighten us. Small portals open the wall at the crime scene. I have all the clues as to what that could mean. What went through that portal was something else. No human could have passed through a portal that small. Even the witch couldn't have pulled that off. So you're finally forsaking your mistaken assumptions. I haven't finished, Inquisitor. The fact remains that something else could have passed through that portal. Oh, and what that be, Sir Blue Knight? The portal was created after the professor had been turned into gold. The witch had good reason behind that. She must have had to move something through that portal. You have captured my curiosity. I'd like to know what passed through the portal. Tell us, what did the witch use that magic portal for? The Magicka.
Take that!
Considering the state of the crime scene, there's just one possible answer. And that is the Talia Magicka.
Objection!
What's this now? The Talia Magicka was found at the crime scene. A portal has nothing to do with it.
Objection!
Inquisitor Barnum, you're making the wrong assumption. Wrong assumption. The witch wasn't trying to remove evidence from the crime scene. She wanted to plan it. She threw the witch's scepter into the room through that portal.
Objection!
You and your crazy theories. Do you realize what you're saying? If she threw the staff into the room, that means... Exactly. She did it to deceive us. Her goal was to make us draw the wrong conclusions. When the incident took place, the witch herself wasn't in the room. She cast a spell from outside. What? Why is the parrot still here? Order! Order! Order, I say! That's not all. There's even more proof that the staff was thrown into the room from outside. What proof? That proof is none other than Professor Layton's previously severed right arm. The victim's arm? How does that prove anything? None of the witnesses have testified they saw the witch's scepter. However, a few of them claim to have heard it rattling across the floor. That's right. Please take a look at this floor plan. Since the arm was standing up right here, we know the defendant couldn't have been the one to have dropped the scepter. Now think about it. Where would he need to drop the scepter from in order for it to end up here? Oh! That's right. The scepter could only have come from the small portal created by the spell Godor. This is most unexpected. The witch wasn't in the room when the crime occurred. Or at least that's the defense's claim. It's the only thing that explains all the contradictions we run into.
Objection!
Sir Blue Knight, without imagination, with that imagination of yours, you could aspire to write fantasy stories. A nice try, I must admit. However, this line of assertion is futile. There's a glaring contradiction in your words. Another contradiction? Whatever you're referring to, Wizard Barnum. This is the Thalia Magica that was used in this incident. As we have established, there are 2 magic gems in it. One for the gold transmutation spell, Goldor, and the one for the shadow familiar spell, Familia. A witch in possession of the staff would not have been able to cast Godor. Yes, you're absolutely right. But you can't write off all the evidence supporting my theory as pure coincidence. Why must your agreement always be followed by a but? Because that's the best part. I don't know. What I'm getting at is, this Thalia Magica is not genuine. Not genuine. That's right. Naturally, the one responsible for this deception is the real culprit of the crime. But nothing suspense is too much for a man of my age. The defense shall reveal what's meant by this so-called deception.
Got it.
I remember too much about this game, Charlie. Oh no. First, I want to clarify one thing. Can we be certain that the Thalia Magica in question is authentic? Without doubt. The metal rod in its center is called the Spina Magica. The witch's mark on its tip is clearly visible and highly detailed. It is impossible to forge, even by the finest craftsmen in all Labyrinthia. I can guarantee you its authenticity. That leaves us with only one possibility. The forgery in question is the Familia magic gem. What? A forged magic gem?
Objection!
That is an insult to our investigators.
Objection.
Only witches can use the power of these magic gems, can't they? So tell me, how can you know whether a magic gem is the real thing or not?
Objection!
Hold it there. We know for sure that the spell Goldor was used. It's undoubtedly not forged. What about Familia? Did anyone actually see a Familiar at the crime scene? That's 3 months ago, when an investigation carried out Sir Belding's death. The results yielded the following conclusion. The spell Familia had been used to summon a Familiar, which in turn carried out the murder. And the witch used exactly that to her advantage. Another similar incident at the same crime scene. Don't you think that would be the perfect opportunity for the witch to frame the defendant for her crimes? The witch would be blamed for both the professor and Sir Belduke's deaths, and she'd be taken for the real witch. Oh. That was the real culprit's objective. He's so quiet. There is a chapter in the Magic Archive, an old collection of tales of the occult, about the way to test whether a magic gem is genuine. How can we test it, my lord? It's very simple. A genuine magic gem is composed of a mineral with a density lower than that of pure water. All you need to do to see if a magic gem floats on water. That is simple indeed. All non-magical materials in our world, with the exception of sepulite and a few other special kinds, sink in water. These eerily sparkling magic gems, however, will never sink when put into water. Bailiff, remove this magic gem for immediate examination. Magic gem's a fake. What's up this trial? This is not how it's supposed to be. It's alright, darling, don't cry. You'll get to see witch burning today. Sir Barnum never disappoints. Hush now, there. Defender. If your theory is correct, this could be the biggest occult crime in history. But another important question remains. I wonder if you can answer it. Who is this supposed real witch that threw the Natalia Magica through the portal? The real witch. There's only one person that comes to mind. Frankly, I still find it hard to believe, but it's only the possibility. Don't worry, dear. We'll murder someone. Once I indicted her, there'll be no turning back. Knowing the consequences, shall I give them her name? Mr. Wright. Labyrinthia, witches are punished by fire. I know you think that's going too far. But even in a world that seems so insane to you, those who take the lives of others must be punished. That's universal law, isn't it? The witch turned the professor into a golden statue, and that's not all. She took the life of the alchemist too, and now she's trying to pin the whole thing onto Maya. I can't just let her get away with that. Well then, defense, let's just hear your theory. Who is this witch responsible for using Godor and then throwing the scepter through the resulting portal? Alright, Charlie, who do you think it is? Everyone place your votes. It's Luke. It's not Luke. Mood Brooch. Mr. Jean Grey Earl, the man. Well, Phoenix did say her. Couldn't it be Miss Primstone? Amir, it's not Amir. Poor Amir. I think he's in every court case too. Well, Bites isn't here for this, but it is. It's Gene. What if you select Luke and it just smash cuts to him being dropped in the fire? That would be hilarious. When you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be true. There's only one logical possibility. It has to be that person. The real witch is Jean Grey Earl. Grey Earl? I've heard that name somewhere. Why, isn't that the butler who serves Sir Belduke? That's correct.
Objection!
What's this about? You seem to love rolling out these ridiculous suggestions, but you're the order obvious. Jean Grey Earl is a male. Quizzer Barnum, tell me one thing. Is it only females who can be witches? Are you daft? Of course it's only females. Never in the history of this court has there ever been a male witch. You're so utterly ignorant. You should be ashamed of yourself. Alright, well, I'd like to ask another question. Is Jean Grey Earl really a male? What? What a ludicrous question. The defense is certain that Jean Grey Earl is the witch responsible for using magic on Professor Layton.
Objection!
Jean is the unisex name you went by in college before it came out? Yeah. You stop fooling around. This is a groundless accusation.
Objection!
Groundless, you say? I'm afraid that's where you're wrong. At the time of the crime, Jean Grey Earl was in the room next to the alchemist's study, and one of the walls in that very room was painted green. It was? That's more. That green wall was the one adjacent to Sir Belduk's study. What? This is madness. Quizzer Barnum, quickly, have the butler summoned to the court. Have Jean Grey Earl brought here immediately. Certainly, my lord. This shall be done.
There is no need for that.
Oh, he's already here.
I am here. I shall come down right away.
Ah, it's you.
Well then, Mr. Wright, shall we begin?
Jean Grey Earl. It would seem that this trial has turned in a new direction. I think we all need a bit of time to take it in. We shall take a brief intermission. Inquisition, defense, sharpen your swords, and wits to prepare yourselves for the next stage of this battle. Yes, Your Honor. It shall be done, my lord. Phoenix is a turf, oh no. By the time we resume, the examination of the magic gem should have ended as well. Where are you taking it? Just put it in a bucket of water. Now, the court is adjourned for a brief intermission. And that's where we'll stop. Doop.